Jill's here with me today. We're talking about something that's pretty important. I do have a tiny disclaimer here. Jill's looking at me because she knows my disclaimers go on too long. This is not a video made to just bitch about something, okay, and complain.
It's not?
No, it's not. It is not a video designed to just whine about something and get sympathy. Because I've noticed that whenever there is anything that even approaches slight normal human emotions on the internet, other people like really latch onto that and think that you're blowing it out of proportion, or you're doing it to get sympathy, or you are faking it or milking it or whatever. I've noticed this anytime I do anything that's not focused around a specific entertainment property or some specific analytical thing. I know that there are certain people, I'm not saying this as an asshole, who have problems with emotions. For example, a couple of my cousins are on the spectrum, and I know sometimes that stuff is uncomfortable for them to talk about, but that's not who I'm talking about. There's just a lot of people who project that stuff onto other people when you try and talk about something important to you. This is something important to us.
Well, there's also a very big culture of men aren't allowed to have feelings, and when they show them, apparently they're, like, vulnerable and, like, sissies and a bunch of other mean words.
Well, and I wouldn't even say that this is a super emotional video. It's more just frustration. I've talked about this in the past before. I try not to talk about it often, and there are going to be people who don't believe me on it, but I kind of want to provide my evidences and let you take it from there. This channel, Degenerate J, is still growing.
We're quitting.
No, we're not. We're still growing. So it's not like this has become unsustainable, but we've been sort of backed into a corner for a long time. This is something that's happened to pretty much everybody since YouTube changed, where if you were not across a certain threshold at the time when the algorithm changed a few years back, they changed the algorithm to focus on specificity, like a specific thing. So if you are a channel that is focused on eye drops, or you are a channel that's focused on reviewing women's underwear, or my dream channel reviewing women in their underwear.
That's pretty base.
That's, if you have a niche like that, you're fine. As long as you start gaining traction and you keep growing, your videos will keep getting recommended to people. I understand completely there is a lot of luck at the beginning to even getting that traction. And I understand that a lot of people do better videos than us and they get 10 views. Okay, that's how this works. There's people who get 1 million views that I genuinely think we've made better videos than them, not to be an ass. It's not about that. It's kind of about what the Skynet of YouTube decides is important to you, and they're not showing our videos to really anyone that's subscribed to us anymore.
So basically what you're saying is variety channels like ours that cover a wide array of topics that are under the same subgenre, like gaming and movies and pop culture.
Pop culture.
When you don't focus in on something like one specific superhero or like one specific movie.
Or Legos. Like if you're a toy channel, but you don't focus on Transformers, or you don't focus on Legos, or you don't focus on, Mega Bloks. You know what I mean? You're not that thing only.
Then they don't show your videos to the majority of your audience if it doesn't seem like your audience is interested in that. Even if you actually are, because Google, for some reason, thinks that it knows every single thing about you based on the things you look up and click on and stuff. And if you aren't constantly searching for a lot of the things you like Kingdom Hearts or something, you're probably not going to see Kingdom Hearts videos recommended to you.
Yeah, or say that you are a fan of Assassin's Creed, but you haven't watched that many Assassin's Creed videos on YouTube. Like maybe you have bought every game, but you mainly play them. Mm-hmm. And maybe you would be interested in me or Alex, Podcast Now, or Slickmoth uploading a video about Assassin's Creed. Maybe you'd be into that, but because you haven't watched enough of them according to this arbitrary robot, you don't get to see them. You basically what it's gotten down to with this channel is, if it's Batman, and I'm not saying this like an asshole, because I know some people think that I don't like that character anymore. I really do. I do have some annoyances with it, because I genuinely think there's a subset of our audience who that's their whole personality. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying there's like a few people who, if it's not that, that's all they care about in life. And I genuinely think that there's a lot more things to enjoy. But I think that for the most part, it's not even that. Like, that's maybe 1% of 1% of our audience, like 100 people. The majority of our audience are very three-dimensional people who enjoy different things. They want to see different things. And even when we pivoted a bit away from that content way back, it was probably, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and said, hey, we're still going to cover this. This is still important to us, but we want to do some more stuff. They were happy with that.
Yeah, and they stayed. But the problem was a lot of them didn't even get to see that we uploaded.
Yeah, some people don't think we've uploaded in months.
And they're like, what happened to Degenerate J? Well, we're here. It's just the problem is, that YouTube doesn't send notifications to people. So what we did is when we created our Discord, the old one and now the new one, because we got rid of the old one, long story short, we made it so it will at everyone whenever a new video is uploaded. And
that's essentially like getting a notification on your phone. It's really the same system as YouTube, except it works.
And it gives you the link to it, so that way, every single time we post, you can see that and decide if you want to watch it or not, which hopefully you do. But pretty much what we're saying here is try to join our Discord and try to, check our channel regularly if you're a fan and you actually want to see what we're doing, because YouTube hates us and WB apparently hates us.
Well, no, so here's the thing. A lot of people don't know this. When I covered that Gotham Knights video, it was kind of not a great situation either. That video got a ton of traction, and a lot of people, I think, are going to point to that video and say, well, that's your problem. You're not covering your niche. That's never been my niche. It just never has been.
Your niche is a lot of things.
And I'm going to take some personal responsibility here on one thing. If I had specifically done just that, like say maybe DC only, right? Well, one, I'd be bored out of my mind and I would have quit 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. So we wouldn't still be here, just so you know, because even though I have a passion for that stuff, I care too much about other stuff to just ignore it. Mm-hmm. That's just not who I am. Mm-hmm. But secondly, I am 100% sure that we would have blown up more and done very well for about 6 months to a year. The problem is, if you look at any channel that does this, it's very few of them that survive that length. They don't go on to keep growing. Because the way that YouTube has set up this system is designed to milk you. And not in the fun way. Like, not in the under the desk way, like, a good time. It's It's like the way of, this person, we are going to make sure that they make Transformers videos. So if they're not making a updated bio about Optimus Prime and his servo length every 2 weeks, we're not going to recommend these videos to people. What that does in a roundabout way is encourages the creator to only make those videos about Optimus Prime or Bumblebee or whatever. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drive as many views off of that for about a year and really, really get it going.
And make a ton of money.
They're going to make a ton of money that year. Mm-hmm. They're not going to actually have their heart in it, a lot of them. Some people do. I'm not calling everyone out. Some people do. They're going to make a ton of money, and then what we're going to do is slowly phase that away, because as soon as the algorithm changes again, that channel is dead permanently. Yep. It just doesn't keep going. Now, 1% of those channels make it. The niche channels. They're some of the top people that are in niches. But if you actually look at some of the top viewed people that people want to watch on YouTube, there are people like Penguin Zero, like Critical, Charlie. There are people like Markiplier. There are people like PewDiePie. There are people like, Jack. Yeah, they're personality-driven channels.
And they're variety channels. They post a lot of different things.
They do. And what they did right was they got in early enough that they gained such a traction and following early enough that they can't fail.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, you look at someone, I don't try and call any specific creators out. These are people way bigger than us.
Well, we usually say people we admire, too.
Yes, but you look at someone like Jack, you look at someone like, Felix, PewDiePie, you look at their stats, if you were to run the numbers on it, the amount of people that view their videos compared to the amount subscribed is infinitesimally small. Mm-hmm. It's under 10%.
It's ridiculous.
And the reason for that is the algorithm.
Yeah. And look at specifically PewDiePie. He has, or at least he did for a really long time, the most subscribers on the platform.
Yeah, he doesn't now, but he's still way up there, and he has over 100 million.
And why isn't he getting 100 million views a video?
Because they don't show it to everyone. They show it to maybe 10% of your audience, and they don't even show it to the 10% they know will click it. they show it to like the 5% they know will click it, 2% that they think probably won't, but like, hey, well, we'll do this because it shows that they're getting impressions, and then like the 3% that's a maybe, and then 1% of the 5% is busy, so you get 4% of your viewership seeing your video, really. And
it's seeing it early, because if you watch it like later on, it still helps, but it doesn't help push that video as much.
And I will take some personal accountability here and say that if I stuck to a better schedule, it might be better. You know, like for me, I have a sleeping problem, which again is not a sympathy thing. It's just I have a hard time with sleeping. I have a hard time staying asleep at night. So a lot of times I do my work at night. I have a hard time waking up early in the morning. So a lot of times my work has to be done before. It's often like I'm working on Tuesday for Wednesday or on Wednesday for Thursday, but also doing certain things I need done for that day. So it's kind of like I'm doing a day and a half of work at a time. I work genuinely anywhere from 50 to 80 hours a week. I would say probably in the 60 range is like a very fair where I usually land for working. And that's with Jill helping me.
And
Jill,
just yesterday, you know, we had our friend T come over, you know, shout out to the Cameo T, and you got up a couple hours before me because I was just really tired, and you worked from the moment that you got up to the moment he stepped in our door.
Yeah, like 5:30 p.m. or something. Yeah, but the thing is that we're not saying this for like a feel bad for us thing. We're saying it to try and kind of explain what's going on and kind of explain like where we're at with certain things, because whenever I bring this up, people say, well, I thought you used to work multiple jobs. And the thing is, I did. I worked over 100 hours a week at one point. And
then you ended up quitting them during COVID.
Yeah.
And you just didn't want to go back because they made you want to die.
two of them quit me during COVID. And, it kind of hit a point, too, where I just couldn't sustain that level of output. Like, I'm not a machine. And so for me, the people who say, well, just go back to something else, that means this channel will not exist. I'm just telling you that because I do not have the emotional and physical energy to put 60 hours into this and the other channel a week, plus side projects that are mainly done to entertain you guys, and do that, for another 20, 30, 40 hours a week. I can't do that. There's not enough time, and I have chronic pain, like every single day. There is not a moment of the day that I do not physically hurt. It's just that I don't make a huge ass deal about it every moment of the day.
And the reason we made this video in the first place is not to, throw anyone under the bus. It's actually to ask for your help, to go to our videos, to watch them, to comment on them, to like them, to share them with your friends, to join our Discord and maybe make some new friends and help, show people our videos. Because doing stuff like that and just helping support us, it is what helps keep us going, and especially what helps you keep going.
Well, yeah, and I'm bringing this up this far in because most people don't watch this far in, and if I did this earlier, people would say it was about this. There are alternative ways to support the channel through things like Enchanted Glamor that you do, where you're doing new stuff, through the Patreon and stuff like that. But to be completely honest with you, doing things like liking the video, commenting, telling your friends, if you are like one of the people, I know we use Kingdom Hearts as an example because it's niche. If I don't know how it's niche, by the way, it's like one of the best selling games franchises, like every time it comes out. But anyway,
yeah, but nobody wants to watch it.
If you are like the guy who's always like this, because I see people like this, man, I wish Jay made more Assassin's Creed videos. Those are awesome. Well, do you have any friends that like Assassin's Creed? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you watch those videos? Because if you do, awesome, and I appreciate it. But like, do you have friends that are into that franchise? That you could tell, hey, there's this creator I follow. He makes these cool videos. I like them on this, this, and this. And we know that not everybody will be interested in everything. I don't have time to watch everything from everybody. Even someone, I mention him all the time, Podcast Now. He's one of my best friends in real life. Do you think I have time to watch every video Alex puts up? I wish I did. He puts up a lot of videos.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't have time to watch everyone. And so I understand watching what you're interested in, but it seems like a lot of people are interested in only one thing, or that's all YouTube shows them, and we can't sustain the channel off of that. It's not to whine, it's not to complain, it's just to be point blank honest.
And the reason he puts up a lot of videos is because, he is A, able to, and B, the more videos you put up in a day, the more views you're going to get in total that day, so you can actually make a livable wage.
And he has the same problem we do. It's just that he doesn't really talk about it that much. I'm not going to get into any personal details of Alex's life because, like, that's not fair to him. He's not here, but he works his butt off every day. He works,
probably the same amount as you.
Yeah, he works the same amount as us. It's just that our styles are different. I put more into editing each video, and he puts more into output.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that his is lower quality. It doesn't mean mine's higher or lower quality or anything like that. It's just a different style, where with a news channel, and his is primarily that, you get a higher output in order to get the same results or better or worse results, depending on the day. There's days where I will put up one video and just blow right past Alex. There's days where he'll put up 5 and all of them will have more views than my one video. It just doesn't matter. It depends on what YouTube decides to show you on that day. That's why we wanted to talk about it, because, I could make this a huge emotional thing, like, I feel sorry for myself, I'm angry and stuff, and sometimes I am, but I know that I chose this job because, seriously, this job is the very first one, whether you consider it a job or not, because some people don't, where I have not actively wanted to jump off a bridge while doing it. Yeah, I work more hours than I ever have at a single job or a single project, but I enjoy what we make.
If you were working the same amount of hours at a job that you actually had to go to and got like a salary for, you'd probably be making more money because of the hours.
But the problem is that I've had those jobs before, and a lot of them really bother my chronic pain issues. And that's why, too, when people say, hey, just do something else, that's not that feasible for me. Like, I've had jobs where I have to use a scanner all day in retail, or jobs where I have to do lifting all day and stuff like that. And I've been actively trying to get into better shape myself to help with that chronic pain stuff, but this job I can pace myself at. I can move my work around where I can actually get it done. Yeah, 60 hours in a week is a lot, but it's a lot easier to do in 4 or 5 hour increments than it is to work 8, 9, 10 hours at the previous jobs that I used to do straight, because that was just the hours. That's what I had to do.
It's a lot less physical activity on your body, too.
Right. So there's a lot of people that offer advice, and I'm sure that 99% of it is from a attempting to be helpful place. There's only a few people that just try to be an ass about it and try and bring you down, even though those people do exist. But those methods of, like, just focus on one thing, we could, but we've now built an audience that isn't just focused on one thing, even though YouTube doesn't show all those people that, and we could, but it'll kill the channel in a year. And even if it didn't, it'll kill our interest.
The thing that would honestly solve all our problems is if, like, people asked enough for YouTube to change the algorithm, but I don't really think that's going to happen.
People already have, and that's the problem, is they don't care. I mean, when you look at something like, it's a weird example, but like Amber Heard, no matter what you think about that thing, when you have millions of people saying, I don't like this person, take him out of the movie, and these big companies, they don't care. They don't care what you think. What they care about is money.
Yeah.
So that you could have every single person in the world, other than the people on Google and YouTube staff, saying, change this. And if they're looking at it and saying, no, this makes us money, they're not going to change it. What it comes down to is the viewers. And that's what sucks. It comes down to either us to completely change our way of doing things and not be happy with this anymore, and then still only be buying ourselves a year or two before it's dead, or it comes down to the viewers to check the channel, join those social things where they're able to see it. And it shouldn't be the viewer's problem, by the way.
No.
It shouldn't be on the viewer to fix it.
A part of it kind of sadly is, and we're also viewers, and we have to do that too, help the people we care about, support their channels and stuff and comment on them and such. But it's a shame that it has gotten to the point where it kind of is, like, the viewer's responsibility now, even though it really shouldn't be, because it should be YouTube's responsibility to show this stuff to you and have you get interested in it and stuff, but now it's your responsibility to actually, like, go type in our name and click on it and stuff. And a lot of people in this day and age, no shade to any of you, but a lot of people in this day and age are very into convenience. They're very into just having one thing that they see and clicking it. They don't want to have to type something in. They don't want to have to search for it. And that's a big reason why I put the link literally, like, everywhere on the Discord, so you can just tap on it and you don't have to type anything in.
Right, yeah. I mean, these companies have conditioned us to be that way. If something's on the top bar when you log into Netflix, you are statistically more likely to watch it. If it's on, like, what's new for you or whatever that tab is, like, recommended. That's why the recommended tab on YouTube is so important to their viewership is like if it doesn't hit recommended or it doesn't hit your subscriptions like on that front page or your sub box or whatever, and it's not near the top, you're not seeing it. That's just kind of how it works. And it's very frustrating. I don't want to go on too much longer here because I think this video very easily could devolve into a whining fest of complaining about the viewers or complaining about the workload or complaining about this or that. It's not really about that. It's about the fact that we are really trying to create something special and it feels like there's nothing we can do to make it work.
And we're also trying to help tell people what can help so that way we can continue doing this and they can continue enjoying our stuff. It's kind of like, in a weird way, an educational video. Like
it's like when PBS begs you for money, but like less douchey. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's kind of like when we're saying, like, here's what's wrong with the world, here's how we can fix it. Well, right now we're saying, here's what's wrong with the channel. It's not really anybody's fault, but here's what we can do to fix it.
Right. You know? And, things could be worse. Because, like, if you've made it to this point in the video, one thing that helps even this video is commenting on it. And another thing that helps is when you see these people who try and actively drag this channel or any other channel down. Now, I'm not talking about the people who are just trolling and looking for a rise, but I'm talking about the people who are trying to pick a fight or trying to say this or that and make you look bad. I see this with channels like K-Wing. I see this with channels like Podcast Now and even ours. And all the time, the sort of naysayers or the people who are mad about something, like maybe one time I said something that rubbed them the wrong way politically, or one time a mod banned them from Discord because they were posting like some ridiculous thing and they can't wrap their head around why they got that happen to them or something like that. Those people, they stick around a lot of times. Ironically, they help the views a lot, but they really try and rally people behind them to hurt you or hurt what you're doing or make you look bad. When you see stuff like that, just responding educationally, not like an asshole, but saying like, hey, that's not true. This point in the video talks about that, or this thing is addressed here. Those people aren't people who watch to 20 minutes in. They'll watch 2 minutes, assume what the video is about, and they'll go on a big spiel about how much of a big fucking idiot you are, no matter what creator you are. And I think that with that, those people kind of need to be engaged and laughed at a little bit. I'm not saying bullied, but kind of like put in their place a little bit and told like, hey, that's not true. That's a stupid thing to say.
Or it's not nice to say or something like that.
I think those kind of things need to happen too, because a lot of the times the things that get the most traction for attention are negative. You see it on our channel too. Like when I talk about Gotham Knights making a mistake, that worked because of the day I released it. It worked because it was Batman. So it fell into 2 really important categories: timing and a niche that they still somewhat promote on our channel, and luck. Those 3 together played into that. And I guarantee you there's going to be people who say, your channel's not dying, you still gain subs, and look at this, got 180,000 views. Look at the last 2 months, though, of the channel. That is insane. That's probably more than the last 13, 14 videos I made combined, at least, in that one relatively low effort video. The site and the channel, they do not reward effort. They do not reward creativity. They do not reward completion or like a full product. What they reward is luck, timing, and whatever the algorithm decides is important for you that moment. That's it.
I think final thoughts here, because it's getting a little lengthy, that
just like me.
Well, I do think the final thought here, though, that we should all stick with is, we have to keep trying, but we can't keep trying if you guys don't keep trying. And, the biggest reason why we're here is because people watch the channel, and we need you to keep doing that, and we need you to keep getting people to watch our channel and just help us out, and it means a lot when we see people talking in the Discord and being friends with each other. Sometimes every once in a while, Jilly has to ban someone because they weren't being very nice, or they were making a little bit of a rowdy. It's not anything against you. It's just I gotta follow the rules fairly. And what I'm trying to say here is we appreciate every one of you, whether you were banned from the Discord or whether you said mean things or not. We're always here to allow people to change and if you want to leave a comment, even if it's a mean comment, we don't like mean comments, but if it's a mean comment, it kind of helps. I know I'm rambling here. What I'm trying to say is you guys help a lot.
One of our most active Discord members is somebody who, I'm not throwing them under the bus, got in a huge fight with you, called you a bunch of names, spread a bunch of rumors about our channel, and caused a lot of drama. And then came back, actually messaged me on Twitter about a year later about how sorry they were, about how they did all this stuff, and felt like they were kind of a bully in their life and wanted to make things better and stuff like that. And I accepted their apology. This is not like to drag them or look how nice I am. It's nothing like that. But what it is we genuinely do appreciate the people who stop by, and some of our active community members are people who used to be a dick in the past.
And then we forgave them for it.
I used to be a dick in the past. Yeah. If I had been as big of a channel even as I am now 10 years ago, you would all absolutely hate me.
And you would have been canceled.
I was self-righteous. I was very angry. I believed I knew everything. I genuinely bullied some people, because I was bullied, and I thought that was kind of just what you do. Like the person who's weaker, you pick on them because you're picked on. That's kind of the person that I was for a long time. And even those people, they can change and they can be positive members of the community. And those are people that we appreciate when they come back even. And what I'm saying is, to add credit to what you're saying, this isn't something we just say. Mm-hmm. We genuinely do appreciate our community. We appreciate the people, even who have, made a problem or wanted to make a problem and come back and fix it, stuff like that. We're not assholes. And you always
have a place here.
We are not assholes.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say, at least never on purpose.
And we try to be forgiving people as well. If you especially felt like you were wrongfully banned or something in the Discord, or you felt like you wanted to change or something, you really would have to try and message me, because I kind of told a lot of the mods, don't unban people without going through me or Jay first, sort of thing.
Right.
So I guess what I'm trying to say here is, everybody who watches this channel and likes this channel has a place here and has a place in the community and is allowed to have second chances, and we need you guys to help boost these videos, to like them,
we
to
need
comment,
everybody.
And we're not gonna just, decide that you're like the worst person ever just because you said one bad thing in the Discord one time or something like that.
Right, and that's not begging people to come back. It's just, we need everybody to make this kind of stuff work. That's just what it is. That's how the environment is for YouTube now, and
we want everyone to feel welcome.
Yeah, and things aren't going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Not for the better. Like, YouTube isn't tomorrow just going to change how it does things for creators for the positive. The people who at the top that you see that are variety channels that made it, they made it before a lot of these changes happened, or they were on their way to making it, and their growth didn't halt. So now they are at a point where you get over 2 million, 3 million, 4 million subs, you get 100,000 views at least. That's just how it works. It's statistics.
You get 100,000 views if you just make a video of yourself farting on the toilet.
Right, absolutely. And I'm doing that tomorrow, reviewing it.
That's where we want to be. We want to be at the point where you can make a video farting on the toilet and everybody loves it.
Yeah, except, it doesn't have to go on OnlyFans this time.
Yeah, exactly.
There are other things we're doing to make money, by the way. We don't have any plans to quit doing YouTube. For example, one thing is giving blood plasma. I know is something that we've talked about doing to bolster our income. I know it sounds ridiculous, but things like that, those are things that we can add onto our work schedule, if you want to call it that.
Well, it's also donating to people in need, so I don't think it's even that ridiculous.
I'm saying to make money off of it.
Yeah.
Because some people say, well, you should just give that anyway. I have given blood anyway, just because.
Mm-hmm.
But, those kinds of things and small side projects, they are things that we do to make money. I have pawned off a lot of my stuff to make money, to keep doing this. And I don't make a big ass deal about it because I think that it can very easily just become whining, like I said. But it's important to know that, I sell some of my stuff every month to keep doing this, to keep providing entertainment for people and doing something that I don't absolutely hate. And I know that there are people who are going to listen to this and say, well, you should be grateful and you should be lucky. I am grateful. I'm lucky. And I've talked about this in the past. Every day I am thankful to still be alive. I had a car accident I should have died in years ago. Somehow I didn't. And every day is a gift, whether it's doing this or whether it's just waking up and being like, thank God I'm not dead. Those things are things that I'm grateful for, but it's also worth noting that we work our asses off, and most of the time we don't see anything for it. That's frustrating. We can't change that. And we do need your help. That's kind of my ending. Jill wants me to stop talking. She wants me to start playing the kazoo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if you stayed for this 30 minutes, I sure hope you enjoyed it. I feel like everybody's clicked off by now. So, comment the word burger in the comments if you got this far.
Not the word burger. That'll be seen as spam. If you got to the end of this video, I'm going to ask you genuinely, what is your favorite collectible or video game that you own?
That's a good
because
question.
you're gonna confuse some people, and I will play you a little outro song. It's a little thank you. It's a spoof off of the copyright-free Avengers. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and consider the stuff that we said because it is very helpful.
And because you guys are important to us. You can do it.